Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is a lady that needs no introduction, but if you've never met her, name's Jamie Jameson. She's with the Polk History Center, and she's going to tell us everything that's going on. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
It's hot outside.
Slightly?
Whew.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I think we need to make Bartow like Disney. We need to have an underground that we can walk to our
Yes.
favorite little shops, you know.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I need an underground over to the Circle K.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
Get your soda pop.
fat kid sweats,
Yeah.
especially in the sun.
In the summertime when it's melting. So the good news is we've got lots of indoor programs.
Oh yeah. So we got June programs coming up.
We do, yep.
Tell me.
Yeah, so we've got kind of our regular slate of programs. We'll be actually kicking off with a special event on June 3rd. Have you ever been out to the First Friday down there in downtown Lakeland?
No, I have not.
Oh my goodness, it's a blast. So it's down there at Munn Park, and we're going to be participating as a vendor with Visit Central Florida. And specifically, we're going to be promoting the centennial of water ski in Polk County. So celebrating all things water ski, water sports out there on the chain of lakes, and hopefully getting some new ski people down here.
Mark Jackson was just in with us last month and cut a show with us, and we talked about that. You know, as we talked with your coworker, the fellow Minnesotan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to tell him. Yeah, that was the birthplace of water skiing too.
Yep.
Did you know that?
So we might not be the birthplace here in Winter Haven, but man, we took it and we ran with it.
Oh yeah. It's
So
our
really,
ball and we're keeping it.
Yes. So we're really excited about that. And what's really interesting is Mosquito Control is going to be tabling with us too. So you can get some information about, you know, what do you do if you're out there by the lake and you're getting eaten alive? Who can you call and how can you work on helping us to control the mosquito population so we can enjoy our water sports?
Always great partners.
They are.
Polk
They're
County
very
Tourism
good.
and Sports Marketing and Polk County Mosquito Control.
Listen, those mosquito control people are pretty entertaining.
I know.
If you've ever been around
I got to
them.
fly in a helicopter with them.
Oh, did you?
That's
Lucky.
very cool.
I didn't get to do that. I got bit by a mosquito.
I don't see how that compares, but I'm good with it.
It doesn't. I just, you know, it was all I had. So
What
we'll
else?
be out there.
What else we got going on?
So after that, we're going to go into our regular programming. Our next Lunch and Learn is going to feature David Schmidt. And David Schmidt is going to be coming out on June 21st to tell us about the Civilian Conservation Corps in the state of Florida. And it was a program during the Great Depression to provide income and work for primarily World War I veterans. And what they did across the state of Florida is a lot of outdoor construction projects, so building bridges, making fire breaks, planting little saplings across, you know, the country so that trees could grow. And we had a site, a private camp right here in Mulberry. So he's going to come talk to us a little bit about that moment in history and what it did for those veterans. So he's going to kind of pick up on that and just tell us a little more about our friends in Mulberry. So we're really excited to have him. And then June 25th, speaking of our Youper friend, Preston will be hosting his Genealogy Speaker series, and they are going to really be diving in on the 1950 census for this episode. And that's virtual, so you don't even have to walk out your front door into the oven that we call Florida to attend that. But if you are brave, we are having an in-house program that day too. So you'd have to walk out your front door, but you could come join us for Of, By, and For the People, which is a look at folk art. Okay. And folk art, of course, is any type of artistry that's not classically trained, right? So when we think of art, we think of, you know, paintings and all the beautiful things that we might see at the Polk Museum of Art. Mm-hmm. This is going to be more so, how do you make a serving platter pretty? So those smiths, blacksmiths, you know, all those welders and things that make functional items that are also pretty, elaborate. Yeah. Chairs, all of these quilts, all of these things that kind of fit into that realm of functional art. And J. Lenora Bressler is going to be there to show us some things from the Daughters of the American Revolution collection. And Bart and I are going to go into the archives and pull some interesting Polk County folk art to have on display as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, are the exhibits still the same?
Yeah, so we are still exhibiting the Hat Lady exhibit. That will be with us through the end of the summer. And we are currently curating some updates to our military gallery to look at specifically the units in Polk County that were involved in Operation Desert Shield and then Operation Desert Storm, because if you're not familiar, they are two different campaigns.
You need to talk to me because I may loan you something, a flight suit from the Air Force that says Air Force
Nice.
Sergeant Brian Lacey, combat camera.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been going through some artifacts related to the 325th, which was based out of Lake Wales, and their entire job during Desert Shield was to take armory and paint it from European green
to the
desert
sand.
tan. Yeah,
Yep.
and so that was just a logistical feat in and of itself. And then the 495th, which was based out of Lakeland, U.S. Army Reserve, they actually ended up being behind the 1st Armored Division during the ground attack. They weren't supposed to be, but they ended up being back there, and they were awarded some great commendations for the work that they did refueling the tanks as they took on the Republican Guard.
Yes.
So some really interesting stories there, and curating a complement to that with Operation Enduring Freedom and the Global War on Terror. And looking at really highlighting some women in Polk County that have served and some uniforms that we have on display with that. So those are all coming and they're in process, and we're hoping to debut them by the end of the summer, including our Whopper exhibit on the cities of Polk County.
There's a young lady in Lake Wales that is the first combat Marine lady in... I've done an interview with her.
Oh.
She's really cool.
I'll have to reach out to her. Yeah, so there's some really great stories. And what I love about talking about Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield is I was a youngling then. So I told my coworkers,
Wow,
I was
you're
like,
making me feel old.
I knew I would. I told my coworkers, I was like, we need a big yellow ribbon. And everyone is just looking at me like, what? And I was like, that's what I remember. We had yellow ribbons outside our doors because my dad served. And they just were looking at me like I was crazy, and we're going through the archives, and lo and behold, there's a big yellow ribbon. And I said, see, I told you that was important. But I really like it because it's something of our current contemporary conscious memories. Most of us have some sort of memory about Desert Shield and Desert Storm. So it's been interesting to talk about this.
We got about 30 seconds left. Make sure the folks come and see you. Tell them why and what for.
All right, so make sure to come and see us because we have air conditioning. We'll lead with that. Historic air conditioning. Our chiller's pretty old. And, we're doing some really fun things with our photo archive. So even if you can't come see us in person, please make sure that you're following at Polk County Gov FL on Facebook, because we're wanting some help identifying people and pictures. So you could be a historian. You could help us do our job.
All right. As usual, always great to see you.
Thank you.
I will see you next month.
Yes, sir.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. Now, the museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individual cultural groups and events significant to the region. It's located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow. History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. If you need more information about exhibits, events, or anything, check them out on the web, polkhistorycenter.org, or give them a call, 863-534-4386.